It's Blacklist International versus Sport Omega for their first meetup in the season.
Some of the names may have changed, but you cannot deny the history between these two. And it's fantastic that it's rare to see this, where it's the gold laners focused for our first opening split screen.
It's Oheb versus Kelra. This is a special match that we are about to witness. And look at how Sensui just prioritized more to move near Kelra as of the second.
Oh, Rebo might get caught out here. Actually, already forced to use the flicker out. That's great news for Blacklist International.
This is so Omega. I mean, honestly, Rebo is not the first player in Omega to actually play the position for Angela. Etomax played that before.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised about the amount of damage that the Angela can put up from the mid lane role.
But how is this? Like, is the emblem build right now something different on how they approach this match? Is there any different from Omega or Black as International right now?
I guess if you are the Angela as a position 5, you can go Foxy Mark. But he went for Impure Rage for more poke and magic.
Cherry Fine suplex and comboed by Blacklist International. First blood of this legendary rivalry goes to Blacklist.
Wow, and the first point, you hear the crowd roar. Going back to that rotation, does this change something out of this Angela? You get more of the pokes, yes, but it also prepares you to get more of your magic items, right?
That's true, but because you're mid lane, you want to output the damage. That's the idea here for Omega.
All right, Sui going in for the invade. Andori getting pressured here. So no clear winner there. Andori was able to secure it for himself, so that's good news for Omega. First turtle of the game spawns.
Okay, now the first objective is up. More of the coverage is Blacklist International is doing against Omega. Edward slowly reaching level 4, and now they have more area for this first objective.
Ultimates across the board. You're going to be going in. Ready, Jay finds the target. Suplex, full combo onto Andoryu, and that is a sure turtle for Blacklist International.
Wow, Renny J back at his tracks. And on the opposite side, you may not see this, but actually, Oheb has a 200 gold lead over Kelra at this point. Even after that wave is cleared out, Oheb has the lead in the gold lane.
Yeah. And they have fought for 30 games already. 30 games they face each other in.
Thank you so much for that trivia. We're looking at the history of how these two laners build up their career and on this momentum. That was a good catch by Renijay, and having those angles and having those targets right on those objectives changes so much in Smart Omega's composition into reverse or counter team fights against Blacklist International.
This is one of my favorite things to do as a Valentina, by the way. If I'm up against a Karina or a Martis, I'm taking their ultimates.
Yeah.
It's just an extra thing that for my opponents to worry about. By the way, get one of 4 skins for free in our Nostalgia event.
Yeah, that's right. One of the 4.
Yeah, just like our match, even the players here are so nostalgic to see that they're back in the game.
It is.
It is. And Oheb now leading by a lot. They might even deny that gold lane card into the bottom lane. And Kelra, you see, he's playing so far back, knowing that there's a massive lead for Blacklist International, and then there's a backshed that can easily get into that lane. He's not overextending, but that might be bad. He now calls in Chaknu because he needs someone to support him into the bottom lane for sure.
I may be misremembering things, but I remember watching a Kelra stream before, and he acknowledged that there's not a lot of heroes that give Beatrix a hard time.
Yeah.
I may be misremembering, but I think he did say that, I don't like going against Bruno that much when I'm playing Beatrix. And that was months ago.
Well, I think right now, if you have an influence of Renijay, yeah, shrinking it either. Look at that. Kelra.
Yeah, good land on
Some
the snipe
pokes.
though. Yeah, and also the pokes. We're seeing a different approach here. Has Kelra wants to clear more of his lane. He has a safe way of entering these kinds of threats, and there's a lot of rotations coming in from Blacklist International. And I said this is one way to hold his own lane, because most of the parts he also wants his team to be activated as well. But nobody's contesting it. Smart Omega.
Small nugget, one of the benefits of being Beatrix is, look what Kelra did. He sniped the Crammer and then get out of the range of the Crammer. It's a way to check if there's someone actually near you. And you see Renegade was spotted, technically speaking, in that moment because the Crabber went to the bush instead of towards the Beatrix.
Across that play, Chaknu gets the divine judgment out to Hoheb and Ryota. Takes him out. That is a trade committed there by Blacklist International. They will get the marksman in the bottom lane as the turtle will go to the side of Blacklist International. But Renegade and Haji have found Chaknu and Ryota. And that is going to be the clap back here with the Tyrant's Rage coming in from Renegade. Taking out Ryota, and Chaknu might be next on the dock. Can they take down the Mamba? Yes, they do.
Completely in sequence. Smart Omega just fall back, and Blacklist International completely getting their hands in a faster rotation for reinforcements. That kill on Oheb gives them so much space to even move around quicker, Wolf.
Yep, I see Omega gonna be. Ooh! Sensui wins it. Has got a level advantage, anyways. And whatever that Omega invested into that bottom lane, it's now erased. They went in for the kill onto Oheb, successful in doing that, and then they gave one turret to Kelra. But that's all erased now because Oheb himself gets the turret, and now they get more kills.
All right, Chakra with a shrub. Who's going to be able to find a Vijay?
Oh,
Renegade again! Revenge into a rage! The hard guard's going to drop onto Kelra, but Ondori looks like he's not going to be able to get away anymore. The members of Blacklist take him out! And Omega, little by little, the things they have built for themselves, the investment that you mentioned is going away. Chakra with a pull out to Sensui to stop them from stealing away the purple buff of Omega. But here comes the members of Blacklist International. The kill onto Chaknu by Renegade. And a kill by Oheb on Toripo. The Hitman, Agent 47, Renegade keeps finding the mark.
That's gotta hurt. This is the nature of the lineup of Blacklist International. You have rotation, you have quicker movement speed, you have that sustain. That big, beefy build, is it now showing, Wolf? Do they have more sustain now against Omega?
Not at this point for sure. And now the Angela mid lane is not paying off. They don't have the necessary wave clear. That's why they're struggling to contain the members of Blacklist. And Blacklist have amplified the Ube. They have now been grouping up as 4 very quickly, activating OF. Even before the 7-minute mark, they're already able to run down the members of Omega. And Omega wanted to farm more, but Blacklist International, they're not given the time to Omega. So we roll into
that. Again, he enters! Revenge into rage, finding Ribo, and the tower's gonna fall next. Chaknu trying to find an angle. As Ryota and Andorio hold on for dear life, and Kelra just tries to split push up top.
Okay, slowly Chaknu is looking for an avenue, but now Renegade onto that landed of the Tyrant's Rage. Perfect hugs, perfect landings right onto the wall. That is the power of their own lineup. They have so much CC and hold, and even damage from Oheb.
Yeah.
They're just crossing all the problems right now with Smart Omega. And how is the damage right now of the Barangay Wolf?
Yeah.
Is it even enough?
Not
to
enough.
Have more team fights.
They don't have it. This is Angela mid lane. Had it been like a Farsa, for example, which was, of course, taken out by Blacklist International, the Farsa is...
Oh, an entry coming in from Renegade again, but it's getting be pulled back by Chaknu. The Kufra gets punished, but look at Sensui! Sensui in the back, taken down, or stopping 4 members there. Kelra has been taken down, and Blacklist just keep finding wins. Every time Omega tries, Blacklist somehow just counters them.
And that is just almost 9 minutes. And they completely moved around so quickly, and the damage right now being respected by Smart Omega. And they're finding ways to push, they're finding ways to trade, and there is a extra experience.
That's a long acronym.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it, we'll workshop it.
We're chopping and we're trying.
Yeah,
and to go back on the point of Wolf there, Renmar,
Yep.
how can Omega endure? I can only see BOD on that Beatrix. I can only see Blood Assassin on that Paquito. This is just completely a Barangay Omega waiting for time, buying time, even for their marks, but comparing it to Oheb's status right now.
For sure. We may even call it an Uber.
Oh, ooh.
Not the brand, but
I like it.
Uber as in like
Okay.
superlative, you know?
Okay.
Ultimate
Bonding Experience Remix.
Love it.
Okay.
That's it.
This is the Uber,
The Uber.
stat, ladies and
You're
gentlemen.
so good. You guys are so good. Just happy to be here right now. It's Sunday. And it's Blacks International on the lead, 6.4K.
Yeah.
No contention. And Omega is eyeing for positive ways, even trade for occasions such as the objectives. But no way that they're coming near that borderline as Blacks International is doing from that objective take.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing Omega can do at that point, and they made the right call. They didn't need to like try and take it away from them. At that point, you really just have to try and get objectives elsewhere, get resources elsewhere, and then just hold back for the next Lord. This shouldn't be endable yet, unless a major error from Omega happens.
Look at Blacklist International freezing the lanes. They wanted to make sure that it will be a three-pronged attack. Top lane not going to be able to be defended by Paquito. That saved their Ryota. And mid lane, here they go.
Yeah, they're just getting scarier by the second.
Oh, Ryota defended. That's a
Be
mistake.
careful.
Oh, they're going to chase him down.
Oh, sprint already utilized. Are they going to continue chasing Ryota? They're still trying to look for him.
Wow.
He's the Crammer. He's at the orange buff, and it looks like he's going to wait scot-free. So they are not able to. Oh, but here comes Oheb. Oh, no.
I just
Oheb.
wanted to get that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get
I think
that.
that was also a great pull, by the way, that he did. He was trying to look for ways to divert the attention of Blacks International, and completely, for half of a second, he did something good.
Nope. Very important wave clear. We did say that it will be a mistake, but Ryota is Ryota. And I didn't realize that he actually rocked the sprint instead of the flicker. That's the sole reason why he got out of there.
Yeah, and I think that's also one of the reasons why he picked it up, knowing that there's so many surprise possible engages and things to avoid. Going for extra movement speed to try and sidestep it seems like a little bit more trustworthy than just having one big blink skill to get away.
I guess so.
Yeah, but just looking at the item build right now by FLD Insurance, I see fleeting time here for Chafnu. And I think I'm just surprised the defense, Wolf. I think it's not even close to even hold something out of Blacklist International.
At this point for Omega, any port in the storm, right? They are just trying to get anything that they can. Maybe you can argue that there could be a different like defensive item for Chapnu perhaps, but at the same time, he's not getting access to it anyways. Omega, it's just like they're living for scraps now.
Oh, let's see if they can find Edward already coming to the flicker and the Primal Wrath just to get out of safety. And Omega are going to have to back off here. Can't believe we got to this point just because Omega decided to overstay their welcome.
Another wrapper.
Oh, Noryu gets found here by Sensui. Oh, Redditor goes in. Oh, but the anti-crowd control that Martis has. Can they find a turnaround here? Chap's not going to be committed into the Divine Judgment. No ultimate already by Kendra. Noryu brought really low. Look at that damage coming out of that Bruno.
Wow, that's gotta hurt. That ball completely hurts by the second and by the damage. How will they ever hold this kind of threat from Blacklist International? It's an 8.7k gold lead. There's a Lord again.
I hate to answer your question by using my previous answers. The lack of a nuke mage here for Omega is just gonna be a big problem. They need to really find a big opening with maybe the Paquito, which is actually on the opposite side of the road. It's going for the long lane push.
Yeah.
This is bad for Omega.
All right, Sensui and Renegade. Turn to the back line.
Answer. This is the big
No doubt.
beefy boy lineup, and we have the Slane for Blacks Internationals to take on that objective.
Oh, yeah. And while that was happening, Ryota, again, just doing what he can to make it work. Pushing towers on the bottom portion of the map this time. And again, right now, in terms of trying to find a way to make a comeback out of it, Omega are doing the right things. Trying to find a pick. Can't find the pick. Get on out of there. Get resources, and then let's see what else we can do. This might be a tough defense, though.
Yeah. Definitely. This is the Lord with a turret lash. Turret clash, I mean.
Yeah, the headbutt.
Yep.
You have that push. You have the damage, but how will they ever hold? But that is a complete answer. But how will Blacklist International commit a mistake, though?
Oh, entry there. A pull by Haji with the Divine Judgment as a Valentina pulling back on Doryu. He survives! Reba's Heart Guard holding on more than enough, and somehow, after all of that, Omega only loses a tower in mid. Ryota is cutting waves behind Blacklist International.
Wow. Man,
That usage!
the Doctor is in, and Ryota just being the... You know, it's like him just applying all that he learned from the Onyx Banana Split era.
Oh, yeah.
Just literally that.
Thank
Banana
you.
Split Season 8.
Yeah, thank you for that callback.
Oh my goodness.
Also, the writer of our battle is also here with us, somewhere in the town area.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, and this is just completely a different hold for Omega. The deficit of almost 10K, they're probably looking for ways to even capitalize more of what they have right now. Even with just by small defense, small damage, but they have the pull though. Items completely building in. This is a good difference even for damage for the BLCK right now.
We still have to respect Omega because of the Omega timers that we always talk about. 18-minute, of course, the late game, the combat killings whatsoever. You have one half of the Jack to Max duo that always is scary in these clutch moments. So Blacklist International, smart to be more, how to say, more safe, controlled.
Safe.
Yeah, I guess.
Cautious.
Cautious, there you go.
Yeah.
Safe to be cautious in this game.
Yeah,
We're back in the game. A few seconds away, Blacklist International is leading by 9 points on our scoreboard, and Smart Omega is still holding onto their base and looking for a way to bounce back on what they have lost in the first game of the series.
Wow. Such a fantastic game so far. Of course, we've been highlighting Renegade, but I think an unsung hero here definitely is Haji on this Valentina. With how well he times his entries alongside Renegade's entries and Sensui as well.
Oh, look at the wraparound.
Oh, Ryota is going to be dire straits. Oh, that's a full 5-man. That's the Uber onto Ryota. And the Paquito falls. And you won't find a contestant, but here in the mid lane, looks like they found the box gel. Smart Omega, Sensui only gets brought down to around 40% health. And that's Omega back in track. Tracking back, and Blacklist for sure going to get this Lord without a problem, the third one in this game.
Yeah, they forced an ultimate onto Rebo, hard guard onto Ryota. One member isolated from Smart Omega, and that gave way for Blacklist International to have this Lord again for themselves. And they're gonna go and clear some of the lanes here as they go with the Lord.
You understand why Ryota wanted to go for that lane cut? This time, Blacklist International won't let him escape for the second time around. And we are in consensus now that there's really not much of a leeway for Omega to actually contest any Lord at this point, unless they take out the members of Blacklist International first. But seeing as we are talking about the Uber, where Blacklist International are just grouping up and not letting anyone get out, there's really no chance for Omega to pick off the members of Blacklist. It should be a full 5v5 with Blacklist International winning the lane advantage.
And another orange stolen by Blacklist International. No objectives for Omega, not even crumbs to follow.
Okay,
get back on their feet, but they're on the base defense.
All right, the Lord almost brought down to 50. The tower's going to be falling. We're going to be looking for an entry here from any member of Blacklist International. Omega just doing their chores and clearing up the minion waves. Bennett's Rage clear up the minion waves. No ultimate from the Beatrix. Minion waves handled well, but Blacklist have made the Omega base bald.
It's open, and with the wave clear that Kelra has right now, it's still standing. The base is still standing, but it's too open.
Man, that was very anticlimactic. Of all of the hype that we were building up with that push coming up from Blacklist, the defense for Omega is still there. It looked wonderful though, don't get me wrong. It was very systematic on how Omega was able to defend that base against Blacklist International. No overextensions, just focusing on the minion wave. Keller just focusing on the Bennett. And they're able to hang on for now. But you're right, Renmar, they don't have any more inhibitor turrets. And you know, their base not having any more inhibitors means that minion wave management is going to be difficult.
Yeah, team fight. We're looking at the faces of Blacklist Nationals, and now they're completely on to the seriousness of this match. And also for Smart Omega, looking for a way to turn this around. Time will only be the answer with that 19 minutes. With a scoring of 2 and 10, is the late game. There is the late game an answer for the Underground Kings to bounce back.
We're waiting for it. I'm looking at the magic number 52, but I think Blacklist also knows something, that they really don't want to take that massive risk. I think at this point, with how systematic their clearing of the towers were, they also understand, and I think they're also thinking, guys, Omega timers, Omega timers, we have to watch out for Omega timers.
Yeah, kind of check that out.
Respect is there.
Yeah, it's overly cautious, but it's so warranted. They've been against Omega so many times
Yep.
that they're just respecting it now.
Imagine a world where Renegade is the leader and everybody's just disciplined and calculated, you know?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Would have thought. But then, I mean, like, leading up to the season, and even last season, we really heard, like, Renegade is one of the more vocal members of Blacklist
right.
International. And I think it speaks a lot about the man's character to step into the shoes of the queen.
Yeah.
And to be this leader that the team needs in this moment. As Blacklist International will get the 4th Lord of the game. 20 minutes in, and Ryota continues to split the towers. But he's just going to let the siege minion. Oh no,
okay.
it survives. He really didn't want to take the risk. He knew that they needed him alive.
Yeah, he could have died from that position, and he decided to go and clear back. Yeah, I think that's one point to ponder upon, Ranmar. I think the growth of the players right now in Season 12 is so different, and they want to be mature on how they wanted to approach the game.
Well, Blacklist International even deployed 5 of their members to clear that lord despite their lead. Uber is real, guys. We're seeing it.
Ultimate Bonding Experience Remix. A 20-minute Lord defense with a massive lead. Omega, if they get out of this, it will be a miracle. Blacklist, can they head over? Champion from out of nowhere to pull up the Renegade. Kufra, the Tyrant's Rage is massive help and setup, and the follow-up isn't quite there yet. Keller stays alive. Keller gets a flicker away from Edward. Sasui is looking at it to Andori and Chaklo and Ryota behind the scenes, and they find Oheb. The Kaja is down. That is 2 down the side of Blacklist of Omega. Make that 3, and Blacklist says, game 1 is ours.